Hi everyone, this is Billy Ariel Real Life, and I'm still just at the studio with the majority of the resistance team members. We're here talking and discussing different matters, and we've received a lot of phone calls from our sources. And so we're here now to just to talk briefly, very briefly to you all out there. Now, we want you all to know it's going to get worse, people. Now, not only with the resistance team, but there have been others on their channels that have been talking the same thing directly of what the resistance team is stating right here at this moment. It's going to get worse, people. I don't care what any of you out there say or you think is going to get worse. This is not putting fear into any one of you. This is reality. And the reality is going to hit you very, very hard. If you think that blacks are untouchable, you got another thought coming because all that number 47 has done and is doing, it could have been stopped a long time ago. When you sat there, I'm talking about my black brothers and sisters in every state, city, town, everywhere. When you sat there and you stated, this is not our fight, let the white people fight. They didn't help us. Let the Latinos do their thing. They didn't help us. You were wrong. They were out there. Sure, the Latinos are been taken away. The Mexicans are been taken away. But at least they can say they did not stand there and allow themselves to be taken away without a fight. They fought. The white people out there, they did their protesting, they did their marching, asked us to join them. But what did you black people say? It's not our fight. But you know who was there? No, we didn't advertise who we were because we do things in quietness, but we were there. The resistance team members were there. And this is what we're saying to you now. If you think that they're not going to snatch you off the streets, you got another thought coming because what they have done and are doing to the Latinos, the Mexicans, you're thinking that they're putting them behind bars. No, they're being eaten by alligators. Well, how do you know, Billy RL, from our sources? See, this is not a plaything with us. We don't play games with you all. And not only the fact that they've been eaten by alligators, they have been killed as well. And I know there was a time when the resistance team told you all, don't go out there, it's not our fight. Well, yes, at that particular moment, it wasn't our fight. But as days progressed it on, and we saw the different changes going on with number 47 and all of his allies. And then if you go back and you research your files, you would have noticed, or you will notice, have noticed whatever that the resistance said, now it's time to start using our voices. We did say that, but you didn't. Now, it takes more than 350 team numbers. It takes more than us. And so, but we told you all, but you have to wake up, people. This thing is getting serious. It's getting serious. I don't care what Donald Trump has promised. He made promises before he became president. I'm not going to do so and so. And I will do this and I will do that. I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. And once he became president, it was a whole turnaround. Because 47 is a liar. He's always been a liar. I'm going to present after my talk this video of this person. He's a black brother, and he's speaking nothing but the truth. And so many of you out there, you better listen and listen closely. There have been others that has been speaking the truth to you as well, but you ignore them. So maybe he can tell you something. You have ignored what Billy Ariel, the resistance team, have said. Maybe you will listen to somebody. You need to stop where the fans at. You need to stop all that. The only dance that you will be doing is after you come off that field, if you have enough time to be able to do that, because you're going to be slaves on that field, doing what the white male or female employer tell you to do. No, they won't become the white masters anymore, but they will be your white employers. And if you think that's not going to happen, you already know and have read and heard about what our ancestors went through. You've already heard about that. And still, it's not our fight. We're going to sit back at the right time, and the right time was yesterday. The right time was a week ago. But you thinking that they're not going to touch you. They are, people. Our sources have told us. This person that I'm going to present after my talk with you, he's telling you all himself. What will make your heads turn and get the understanding of the facts and the truth and the knowledge? And many times the resistance team have stated to you, you have power. You have power within yourselves, but you don't use that power. Why? Because you're fearful. Most of the time, a lot of the time, the resistors have stated to each and every one of you, don't take the shot, don't take the vaccine, don't do it, because you know something our sources told us. When a black person, anybody, particularly white too, when you take that shot, that vaccine, it makes you turn. It'll make you be lazy. It'll make you have a lack of conscience. It'll make you do everything and believe everything that they are telling you. This is why we, the resistance team, and many others have strongly suggested you don't take that vaccine. Don't take that shot. And this is why RK, he's going crazy. Take the shot, take the vaccine, because this happened, that happened. And then they're saying there's an outbreak of measles in Texas. There's no outbreak of measles in Texas. There's none. So I'm saying all of that about the deportation of you people. See, once you take that shot of vaccine, you'll be willing to do exactly what 47 and his allies want you to do. People, you better get yourselves together. You have power that's within yourself. And if you don't use that power for understanding, for knowing and distinguishing the rights from the wrongs, don't ever think that you are untouchable, because you're not. When the time comes, they're going to have not only super soldiers, but they're going to have as well the neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan members. And let me tell you this, the neo-Nazis are not going to be dressed as neo-Nazis. The Ku Klux Klans are not going to be dressed like the olden days, the Ku Klux Klans. They're going to come in uniforms. They're going to come and dress like you and I are. People, you better open your eyes. It's time to stand up and do something. It may be too late now, but there's never a moment when you can not say, I didn't try. And you should have tried a long time ago. This is real life shit that's going on. And it's really going to affect every Black person in the United States of America. There have been many Black people already, not Haitians, not only Latinos and Mexicans, but they have been true blue blood Black people that ICE have snatched up and taken them off. And you'll never hear from them again. This is why the resistance team has stated and will continue to state, we are brothers and sisters alike. I don't care whether you're Black, white, Latinos, and Mexicans are gone. But we must unite together, not for self-egotism, but just for the sake of being together and regaining ourselves back to like we once were. People, it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. This man is going to come forward, and I'm going to, when I say I am talking about the resistance team, we're going to present to you all. You need to start listening to people. Listen to him and those that are like him, that are telling you or that are giving you the facts and the truth and the knowledge. No one is telling you anything wrong. They may not be as strong as some others with their input of information, but it's the truth. And you have to listen. This world is folding. And after a while, it's going to come to an end. But before it comes to an end, they are going to make sure that Black Americans are going to be slaves again out there in that field, out there on that plantation. This is why Donald J. Trump stated not once but oftentimes we can't let the fields go to waste. Now, with the Latino and the Mexicans gone, who is he talking about? White people are not going to get out there. Who is he talking about? Did you want to go through the same shit that your ancestors went through? Waking up early in the morning, going to bed late at night. And those of you who have went to college and finished college will not, it doesn't matter because you're going to be out there in that field working. If you don't think that this is the truth, you wait and see. You wait and see. But one thing with us, the resistance team, and we have whites, we have black, well, you know what we have. Some of our team members, we have to sit down for a while because of the fact if we allow them to get up and out, they'll be taken too. So we have to set them down for a while and shield them. But I'm telling you, people, it has to be a unification of people everywhere. Don't think that white people can't be there for us because they can be. Now, let me correctify this. All white people are not your friends. All white people are not, some, not all, white people are nothing but the enemy. But you would know. You see, and how you would know because you have the power within yourself to know right from wrong, who's who, and what's what. You have that power. Hell, I have that power. I can look at you and tell that's the enemy over there. You see, I can tell because I'm using the power that's within me. Katrina used her power that's within her, and so many others. Tabitha, beautiful Rose. We use the power that's within us to be able to distinguish who we're talking to, who we're facing, and you have that same power. You better wake up, people. I'm telling you, because every day that you wake up, you're getting closer and closer to that end time. And one more thing I want to say before I let you listen to this man who's going to talk. Elon Musk and number 47 is not enemies. They're not enemies whatsoever. Don't care what Elon Musk say about 47, what 47 says about Elon Musk, but the sources inside tells us that they have to make or to give that dramatic scene because Elon Musk is going to Mars. And when he goes to Mars, he has to take those or some of those here on Earth with him. There's no fruit between Elon Musk and 47. There's nothing. Well, we knew it as well. Feud. I'm talking about feud. There's nothing between them. Elon Musk can walk into the White House anytime he wants to, day or night. And 47 would accept him. Elon Musk sleeps inside the White House in one of those rooms there, but in front of the cameras and to you people that Elon Musk and number 47, they are at each other's throats, and they're not people. See, they're saying and doing things to try to deceive and fool you all and to put the fear in you all. But one fear that they're not going to do is that you Black people will become slaves. You will become slaves if you don't stand up and do something. You need to use your voices, use your power. And I mean what I say, I mean, and I'm speaking for myself and the entire team. Now, I know we said it once, we said it twice, we said it 3 or 4 times, but this time we're not coming back on you anymore. because we're tired of repeating ourselves over and over and over again about the same thing, the same situation. It's up to you all. You keep on dancing to the tone. Where the fans at? Where the fans at? You keep on doing that, and that's going to land your ass behind the fence or in hell somewhere. It's real, people. Donald Trump has given permission now for the police officers to do anything they can to civilians. If the police officers or whomever that's in uniform wants to stop the people on the streets, question them, it can be done. They will not get into any trouble whatsoever. But you all say it's not your fight. It won't be your fight until you're behind prison bars out there in that plantation, working from the time the sun comes up until the time the sun goes down. You won't be able to go to your homes like you have homes today. You better wake up, people, and think. This is not fear mongering. It's time to get yourselves together. If you feel like you can get yourselves together, then you know what else to do. You know what else to do. But I'm glad we are the team is going to present this man. And he's a very wise man, and he knows exactly what's what. And everything that he has stated, everything he has said, comes directly from all sources. They have said the same thing to us. We have made so many different phone calls, undercover phone calls, and speak the same thing. So we know the resistance team and those who are like the resistance team, we know what the real deal is. So listen to this man, give us some feedback on what you think, and subscribe. If you want real thorough information, then subscribe to the TRT team, Billy RL, CEO, Katrina, and the original messenger here on YouTube. We'd like to hear from you. We'd like to know what you're thinking, what your feelings are, what your input and output is. Please do so. So I'm going to present to you none other than Reverend Augustus. And I want you to know something about Reverend Augustus. I know a lot of people in the clergy are named Reverend, Bishop, Pastor, Father, Son, and so on. But this man here, Reverend Augustus, we have checked into him, the resistance team. We've been told by source that he is 100% and not more legit. This man indeed speaks the facts and the truth and the knowledge. This man indeed has power. And you can bank on everything that he says is nothing but because our sources at many phone calls that we have made to different ones who are just like the resistance team are speaking on the same accord. So here he is, listen to him. If you don't believe anyone else or don't accept what anyone else says, accept what he says, because it's nothing, once again, but the facts, the truth, and the knowledge, and all equals power. This is I, the DRL, and the resistance team, all 350 team members of us. We appreciate your feedback. Here he is.
Since the court handed down the Trump v. Casa case, where it used birthright citizenship, used that issue to basically prohibit judges, federal judges, lower court judges, from issuing universal or nationwide injunctions, a question has arisen that I want to address in this video. And that question is whether or not Trump can deport Black Americans, African Americans, especially those whose ancestors were enslaved in this country, what many people call foundational Black Americans. And the answer is yes, he certainly can. This case made it much easier. This case gave Trump the tool to do just that. Despite him saying, I heard him say it with my own ears recently, the day after the case came down, or maybe even the same day, that the 14th Amendment was added for the babies of slaves. Well, that is true. However, the Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment does not apply just to the descendants of enslaved people. That is not the way it is written. It actually says all persons. Persons. So it's not written that way. It's not interpreted that way, and it's not applied that way. All right, so keep that in mind. It's really important. And I believe Trump is saying that so that he can divide the black and brown community, to say this is not, birthright citizenship is not for you. Basically, it's for blacks. And you're trying to take something in, you're trying to take something from them. I think that is intended to pit us against each other. And I also think that he's saying that to deceive blacks into believing that he is for us, when clearly he is not for us. All right? But let's get back to nationwide injunctions, because when the U.S. Supreme Court got rid of nationwide injunctions, that basically gave Trump free rein to do just about anything he wants to do, including deporting American citizens, not just black Americans. And the basic reason why is because no judge can stop him, not with respect to the entire country. A judge can stop someone who files lawsuit against Trump. But think about it. If Trump snatch up, say, 100 African Americans and deport them to Sudan or Libya or Nicaragua or El Salvador or wherever, those people are gone. They're out of the country. They're God knows wherever. And so let's say one of their family members file a lawsuit on their behalf. And let's say they successfully get an injunction from the judge. Well, it used to be, before this case, that the judge could say, basically, you got to return all 100 of these African Americans because you unlawfully deported them. But now, with this case, the judge could only say you got to bring that one person back. And the other 99, although it's unlawful, he cannot prohibit that unless they do a class action lawsuit. And class action lawsuits can take months, if not years, to get certified. So those other 99 African American people could be over there lingering, rotten in some jail or whatever, while their cases matriculates through the court system. It's almost like saying you can't kill that man after you then shot him. Listen, this court case essentially said to judges, you cannot issue nationwide injunctions except for certified class action lawsuits, even if what he is doing is unlawful. So if you phrase the question this way, can Trump lawfully deport African Americans? The answer is clearly no. But that's not the question. The question is, can he deport African Americans even if it's unlawful? The answer to that question is yes, because there's nobody to stop him anymore. All right? I want that to be clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latinos. This case went far beyond immigration. I hope I'm making this clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latino immigrants. This case went far beyond immigration. It basically, at this point, jeopardizes all of our rights. All of them. Now, I'm going to take you to the case and I'm going to show you that. So Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Barrett, wrote the case for the majority. And she said that judges could no longer issue nationwide injunctions, even if what Trump is doing is unlawful. You may say, wow, really? Yes, really. Let me show you. Because it jeopardizes all of our rights. So the very first thing, now I went over this in the video that I did a day or so ago about this very same thing, but this one, I'm talking specifically to African Americans, whether we can be deported or any other American for that matter. So at the very top, Justice Barrett says the applications do not raise and thus we do not address. Now, what applications are she talking about? Well, when the judges, 3 judges, issued those nationwide injunctions, the Trump administration filed applications for a stay. The word stay means stop. So they filed applications with SCOTUS. They were asking SCOTUS to stop the injunctions from stopping them from doing what they wanted to do, which was redefine birthright citizenship. All right. And the appellate court agreed with the lower court, but when it got to SCOTUS, SCOTUS agreed with the Trump administration and granted their applications, basically stopping the nationwide injunctions and also saying to the judges, don't issue any more unless they are pursuant to class action lawsuits or to the one person or several people who are directly in a lawsuit, but don't apply that to everybody else. So since it applies only to the people named in the lawsuit, the rest of what Trump does by his executive order to the other people, he can get away with it, whether it's lawful or not, whether it's constitutional or not constitutional. All right. So here we go. She says the application do not raise and thus we do not address the question whether the executive order violates the Citizenship Clause or Nationality Act. The issue before us is one of remedy. The remedy is getting the application granted. Doesn't have anything to do with the constitutionality of the executive order that Trump issued. And that is whether under the Judiciary Act of 1789, which creates federal courts, have equitable authority to issue universal injunctions. And I already told you they answered the question in the negative. No, they do not have that power going forward. Now, Justice Sotomayor, she wrote the dissent, and she called it gamesmanship that the Trump administration did not include whether the executive order was constitutional. She said that was gamesmanship. In other words, they played game because what they really wanted was just to get the court to say that the lower judges can no longer issue universal injunctions. That's what they were trying to get because that's what's holding up Trump's agenda, his Project 2025 agenda, his anti-black agenda, his anti-civil rights agenda. That's what was holding it up. And she says, yet shamefully, this court plays along. A majority of this court decides that these applications of all cases provide the appropriate occasion to resolve the question of universal injunction. And she goes on. Now, if we jump down to the next paragraph, she goes on to say, and this is what I want you to hear very carefully, no right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. No right is safe. So we can say as African Americans, we have the right not to be deported because we are citizens. We have birthright citizenship. All right. And it is true. Let me say this. I want to make sure you understand that birthright citizenship was added to the Constitution because of our enslaved ancestors. That's true. Where Trump is wrong is it doesn't just apply to us. Just like equal protection doesn't just apply to us, or due process doesn't just apply to us. So she says no right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. So if we say, hey, you can't deport us, in other words, we could say to the ICE agent, you can't deport us, I'm an American citizen. And because of this case, they could tell you, shut up, put your hands behind your back, you're arrested, and we're getting ready to deport you. We're putting you on a plane right now. And you say, well, how can they do that? Because of this case. And because no judge could issue a nationwide injunction stopping it from happening. So let's say you and 10 of your buddies are hanging out. ICE pulls up on you, and ICE grabs all 10 of you up and put you on a plane and deport you. Okay? No due process, nothing, just deport you. Now, isn't that unlawful? Of course it is. You have certain rights. You have the right to due process. You have the right not to be deported. And by the way, Trump has already said that he is going to deport homegrown criminals anyway, right? But let's say you're not criminals, yet you got grabbed up along with 9 of your buddies. Now what would happen is, let's say one of those 9 or 2 of those 9 file lawsuits. And the judge in those lawsuits said you got to bring those 2 people back. Well, what happens to you? Well, you can stay. Trump can keep you over there, although it's unlawful, because the judge cannot issue a nationwide injunction that covers the other 8 of you or 9 of you. So it would be unlawful, but it can be done because that nationwide injunction can't be used to help you. You say, well, then my family can file a lawsuit or we can do a class action lawsuit. You're right, you can. But you're already deported. And to get that class action lawsuit certified may take months, years maybe. To get your case in front of a judge may take much more time than you want to be spending somewhere. So this is not fear-mongering. I'm telling you where we are. She said no right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates. That also includes civil rights. The Civil Rights Act of 64, the Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act. None of it, she says, is safe with what SCOTUS has given the Trump administration. Let's keep reading. Today, the threat is birthright citizenship. So she's trying to say that's the issue today, but tomorrow it could be deporting Black Americans or whatever. Tomorrow, a different administration may try to seize firearms from law-abiding citizens or prevent people of certain faiths from gathering to worship. She says the majority holds that, absent cumbersome class action litigation, courts cannot completely enjoin even such plainly unlawful policies unless doing so is necessary to afford the former parties complete relief. So she's saying that the majority allows Trump to do even what's unlawful because it took away from those judges the ability to stop Trump on a nationwide basis, even if what he's doing is unlawful. Now, if you're named in the lawsuit in court A, fine. Then you can get relief. You can get the remedy. But if you're not named in that lawsuit, you got to file your own. And if it's something that affects millions of people, those people got to either do a class action or all of them got to file lawsuits. Meanwhile, Trump's unlawful policy is still in effect. Because again, all that could take months or years. This is not fear-mongering. This is where we are. Justice Jackson, the African-American woman who's on the court, she said, make no mistake, today's ruling allows the executive to deny people rights, there's that word rights again, that the founders plainly wrote into our Constitution. And just like Justice Sotomayor, she said, so long as those individuals have not found a lawyer or asked the court in a particular manner to have their rights protected. And you're not in a situation, if you get deported or something, you're not in a situation to do or say anything. You sitting over in Sudan or something. And again, it doesn't matter that Trump incorrectly stated the law when he says that birthright citizenship applies only to the babies of slaves. And by the way, none of us are babies of slaves. Have you thought about that? None of us. No one living today is a baby of a slave. So technically, that really doesn't apply to any of us. If that is true, that birthright citizenship only applies to babies of slaves, none of us are citizens, not even white people. So you know that's an inaccurate statement. In the 14th Amendment itself, the citizenship clause literally says persons. Persons. Persons born in this country or nationalized and are subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. So, again, I hope you understand now. This case was horrible. It went way beyond immigration. It went way beyond the Latino community. As you just read, I'm going to show it to you again. As you just read, Justice Sotomayor says no right is safe. And Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson says, make no mistake, today's rulings allows the executive to deny people rights that the founders plainly wrote into our Constitution. So if you're saying, I got the right not to be deported, that's no longer safe, folks, because of this case. So again, yes, African Americans can be deported. Even those who are descendants of enslaved Africans in this country. That's where we are. That's what we get for this nation reelecting Trump. And don't forget, and I won't let you forget, 2.5 million African Americans voted for his reelection. And millions more didn't even care to vote. So Project 2025 is in full effect. The GOP is backing everything he does. So neither branch of the government is doing anything to stop him. Congress? Nope. The courts? Nope. That's where we are. All right. I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. And remember, you better stay woke.